Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing this morning? So glad to have you with me. What we'll be doing this morning is we're going to be having a little chat as to what I want to grow this year in my extension garden, and little bits here and there at home. So what I have with me this morning is my stack of seeds that I've had for some time, and some newer seeds that I just received last year. One thing I wanted to mention from the get-go is that I have found that seeds that have been tailored for the tropics the plants do much better than if we were to buy seeds from the temperate climates, those seed companies that are based there, because of course they would have vegetables and fruits that do well in that climate. So if you're growing in a tropical garden, it's really important to keep that in mind when choosing your seeds for your new garden. Now this year I am going to be growing some things that I knew did well for me in years past, because my reserves are low and I really need to restock. For some reason the rooster decides he needs to make his presence known the time I press record on my phone. Why? Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I have here in my hand is seeds for squashes and pumpkins. I absolutely adore a very sweet, nutty squash. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin. I find it's quite watery and stringy. I really do prefer the flesh of squashes. So what I have in mind is, of course, the Walter butternut squash. These I would love to grow. I tried these before. It's called Violina Gioia, whatever. It's like a butternut squash, but this flesh is bumpy. It's not smooth as a butternut squash. However, the back of the packet says that it is like an Italian butternut type. So the flesh is supposed to be deep orange, sweet, perfect for desserts, roasting, stuffing, baking, and good for marketing. Now I grew this pumpkin before, but where I grew it is right here at home, and I had it on a trellis, and I didn't like the flesh so much. So I'm going to give this another go in the extension garden. All my seeds are blowing away. To see if that makes a difference, with more water, more access to water instead of being on a trellis. Really do find that growing the squashes on a trellis in the tropics is counterproductive, because we need those roots to find the water to maintain, good quality fruit. Now to the pumpkins, I have here a Connecticut field pumpkin that I got from my mom. She bought a whole lot of seeds and she was willing to split them with me. Thanks, Mom. So I'll be growing the Connecticut field pumpkin, as well as a Big Moon, a burpee pumpkin, and see how that goes, to see if we get a huge pumpkin, just to add some fun, especially for the kids. If they see this big pumpkin, big vegetable growing in the garden, I think they would appreciate that. Next, what I have next to me here that hasn't blown away already are the melons. Love watermelon, love cantaloupe, love muskmelons, love it all. So I'm gonna try, you guys would have remembered, I hope you could go back to that video where I was excited because the melon patch took off and it was doing so great, and then all the rains came and washed everything away. So I'm gonna start with this one here. This is a small muskmelon. It's called Hearts of Gold. Love cantaloupe. Yes, it grows in the tropics, guys. So you can grow this right at home in your home garden in a container. This is actually bred for container because it's a small melon, and it does well. It really does well, especially when the heat sets in. The fruit becomes sweet. I'm going to also be growing the crimson sweet watermelon. That's a bigger watermelon. This is a sugar baby. Oh, we grew this before, and let me tell you, it was sugar. It was super sweet. This watermelon, of course, is not a very large watermelon, which is perfect, so that when I slice one, my family of 4, we can go through a melon in no time. So I want to do try new melons. I've seen yellow watermelons online, so I want to try this one. This one is a yellow petite. It's a small watermelon as well, but yellow fleshed on the inside, and it's an heirloom watermelon. Got that from mom. Again, I want to try the orange tender sweet, and I got these seeds from her. I'm not too sure which one this is, but I must have guessed. I would think that this is the Jubilee watermelon. So that's it for the watermelon, just those watermelons. Next up, what's close to me here are peppers. Now, the Creole cuisine, the tasty food is not tasty without pepper. It needs pepper. And I'm not meaning spicy pepper, because I don't like a lot of spice. My family doesn't like a lot of spice, but we love tasty food. So you don't get that result without pepper. So one pepper that I will grow for sure is a pepper we call the pimento pepper, that adds an exquisite taste to your meals. And those I will not grow from seed. I prefer to get those ones from seedling, because I honestly have trouble getting peppers started. The seeds, for some reason, I find that pepper seeds are really difficult to get started. So the first one I have here is jalapeno. Why? Because we love sandwiches, we love gyros, and we found that we really like pickle jalapenos. So, I'm, like I said, I'm into preserving and stuff like that. So having those jalapenos in vinegar sauce, to have our own pickled jalapenos, we are very much into that. The California Wonder, the cayenne pepper, and I'm doing this to see, to make my own cayenne pepper powder. If I can get that to grow, that would be great. Sweet banana, the Ozark Giant. Now this wasn't bred for the Caribbean, but I have the seeds, so why not? I'll try it. And the snacking pepper. So this is a smaller sweet pepper that you supposedly should be able to eat with a dipping sauce. That sounds really good to me, actually. So that's it for the peppers. Just those few I will be trying to grow. And after that, I have sweet corn. I have some sweet corn that I want to try. Here, I have some tomatoes. So the spot right that I want to grow, excuse me, a vehicle is passing, that I want to grow tomatoes is right now occupied with the onions. So I am willing to wait for those to mature, and then I will get my tomatoes started. I'm not going to plant tomatoes in the extension garden because there are way too many other animals that wants to enjoy the tomatoes that I know that I won't get a harvest there. So what I plan to do is, as you can see here, I want to get a greenhouse plastic so that when I do start my tomatoes, if the rainy season starts, I can set my greenhouse plastic over the tomatoes and into the chicken run to avoid the chicken run from being a muddy mess. So I want to get a greenhouse plastic in order to continue growing tomatoes during the rainy season to see if that works. I mean, a greenhouse plastic is inexpensive, so just order that, and I'm going to try that out this season. So with that said, I have here cherry tomato. This one is super sweet. It's a hybrid, but oh my, I love a good cherry tomato in a salad. And if it's super sweet, you got me. I also have here chocolate cherry tomato. It's a mahogany colored tomato. There's is an intermediate variety, and is said to be prolific and delicious. So I'm looking forward to that mahogany colored tomato. I have here an heirloom mix. I don't know what is what, so I'll just take a couple seeds and germinate them and let them grow, and just to add some fun and some, suspense to the garden to see what I get. I also have a slicing tomato, which is globe tomato, purple boy. So he's a tangy tomato, which is good. A little tang is good. I also have here a red pear, tomato in this little plastic. I also have yellow pear. I don't know if I would try it, but for now I just try these 5 varieties, or whatever varieties of tomatoes germinate. Next up on my list is my eggplant. Alright, so I have a green eggplant. It's supposed to be a green eggplant. I got this from my mom. She saved, and she had a beautiful green eggplant, guys. A green eggplant. It's not a very big eggplant, but it's really beautiful to look at. I will also be growing the pitong. This does really well steamed and made into nice Chinese dishes. I love the pitong. And I would also be growing the Black Beauty variety, because I found that the eggplant seeds and seedlings that are sold here, for some reason, they don't do so well. They don't do so well for me. So these are the tomatoes I've tried, and I've gotten eggplants I've tried. Yeah, so these are the eggplants I've tried, and they have done really well for me. And as I said in the onset, right now it's just all about production. Really need to get my reserves back up. I also am big into salads. Now I hate making a salad with store-bought lettuce. It tastes like soap to me. It tastes ridiculously bland. So I found growing my own salad is extremely worthwhile. As you would have seen in my intro, I planted out pak choy. So I have some other things that I need to germinate. What I want to try is this bronze romaine. It's a mini romaine. Try that. I want to do the red mustard and the Swiss chard, as well as the dinosaur kale and the Chinese cabbage. Now I've never gotten this to head up, but it produces some sweet large leaves that I just love. This called Wang Bok. I really enjoy the Wang Bok. I've never gotten to get a Napa cabbage, but the leaves itself, it just adds a really unique flavor to your salads. So I'll be growing this as well. Also be growing bok choy. And now on to some flowers. As you guys know, I always promote growing flowers full of pollinators, the hummingbird, the bees, etc. To keep a balance in the garden. So this first flower that I'm going to show you here is one I have never grown before. This is nasturtium, but in my research, the nasturtium is a flower that attracts all types of animals that eat aphids and etc. However, it is a crop, like a attractant crop, like a what it does is attracts aphids away from plants. So I would like a sacrificial plant. So I'll be growing this in an attempt. Don't know if it's gonna work, but I'll be growing this in an attempt to keep the aphids off of my plants. So we'll be trying out the nasturtium, some sunflowers. Why not? I'm also thinking that if I do get a good crop of sunflowers, that can also go towards my girls in the garden. The seeds, I can save them and roast them and give them to my chickens. My cosmos, they were a sensational flower. The deepness of the red, the pinks, it was beautiful. Looking forward to seeing those cosmos again. A new flower that I have here is the blue borage. Now, it's said to be a flower that when you put it into water, it tastes like cucumber. So that's one thing, just to flavor my water because we are big water drinkers. And as well as it attracts a lot of bees. It's said that bees love borage. So I will be trying this out in attempt to get more pollinators into my garden, the extension garden. Another flower that I want to do is this calendula. So it's a type of marigold. It's said to have great medicinal properties for your skin, where you can infuse it in an oil and use it for your skin. And you guys would have known that I mentioned before that after getting insect bites, I break out in rashes. So I'm into this in order to see if the calendula works in soothing these rashes on my skin. On to the next segment is cucumbers and seasoning. My son is sleeping right here, so what I have here, the cucumber, is a hybrid at the SMR 58. So I'll be trying this one out. I also have another cucumber. I think it blew away. It's pickling cucumber, so we as well love our homemade pickle. I will never, and I repeat, I will never buy a store-bought relish ever again. After making my own and tasting what a real relish tastes like, I will never do it again. I promise myself that. So I'm definitely trying to get as many cucumbers as I can so that I can do my own pickles and my own canning here at home. Now I'm going to go into this canning 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm going to be sticking to things that I know that is high in acid so that I don't give my family botulism. So, but at the same time, I really need to, explore that world of preserving my food via canning. All right, so basil. I have 3 different types of basil here. I don't think you have enough basil. Basil is a really unique herb as well, and is also great for pollinators. So I have the Genovese, I have the large leaf basil, and I also have the dark opal purple basil. So I'm interested in seeing that. They make great teas as well. A nice basil tea is really good, like lemon basil. If I had those seeds, I would grow a lemon basil for my own teas. That's another thing that I will not really spend a lot of money on again is herbal teas in the tropics. We have so many herbs outside. It grows like a weed if you give it a chance. That we shouldn't really be buying herbs for tea, like fever grass or lemongrass or basil or lemon balm. It's one of the things that I'll be growing. Lemon balm, when it's dried, mint. These things grow really well outside. That just having a pot outside and continually pruning that tree at good intervals, you will always have fresh teas to drink where you can get all the antioxidants and stuff for your, to boost your immune system. So that's it. Oh, one more. There's a bean that I was given by my mom. It's a jade bean. It has a hole. It got a hole in top of it. It's a jade bean and it's supposed to be heat tolerant. So I'll be trying out this jade bean in to see how this does in the heat of the tropics. So basically, guys, those are the few things that I want to grow this year. I hope it goes well. I know I'm behind time as regards getting my seeds started, but I really I'm excited to get started with my garden season. Hold on one second. It's starting to drizzle and the baby's in my arms. I need to take him inside. So guys, that's it. That's all the things that I'm looking to grow in the garden this year, 2023. Really looking forward to my crops doing well and I being able to stock back up in my reserves. So far what I've started is my peppers. Because I have difficulties getting these to germinate, I've tried putting them in a damp tissue in a piece of plastic bag, and I had them in the cupboard. So far we've been having germination on a few of them. Peppers really are difficult for me. So these are the jalapenos and cayennes, hot peppers. Another pepper that I tried that I forgot to mention was the cubanelle. I'm excited about that because I heard that it's a really prolific pepper plant. So even the California wonder. So I have some pots here with soil that I am going to get these already germinating seeds into so that I can get my pepper plants started. Until guys, the next time, you guys take care and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.